Welcome to the bold analysis. Rigathi Gachagua is going on with his tour in the US. And there were reports, a question that has been emerging here. What is the threshold of human rights violation that would actually trigger an action from ICC, maybe to send a warning to Kenya? For the last 2 months, within a span of 2 months this year, human rights organizations record that more than 60 people might have been killed under unclear circumstances. And that kind of statistics is not one that is good for the country. And something indeed needed to be done. The prosecution and the will of the justice in the country is a flawed process that swims in some, sheer political power. And those who are bestowed with the responsibility to bring sanity and ensure justice prevails only come up with cover-up and stories and not really facing the will of justice. Remember, Gyeji Langat once made a statement, released a statement that he had stepped aside, only later to appear in court with another document that he was actually on a holiday. Something happened, then you go on a holiday. So we're still calling shots from the background. And something is not amiss here. So in this podcast, I'm going to look at the ICC evidence collection mission that is now making people in decision-making offices unstable and uncomfortable with these plans. Kindly subscribe to our channel, and I'm going to explain, by the way, why it is right at this moment before general election for Kenya to have the footprints of ICC around us. I'm going to explain that, but kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. Thank you very much for supporting this podcast. Thank you very much for subscribing. Subscription is absolutely free. And the more you subscribe to this channel, you'll get notifications when we publish our videos. So let me start here. Justin Muturi committee, Justin Muturi's committee are actually Justin Muturi committee with others created some commission on restoration of justice. And what that commission did, that commission was created, and it was getting funding from some other organizations, of civil society organizations, to amplify the voices. And the argument was for Muturi's son to be released. He was close to the president. He was in the executive, so he called the president. But then how about those who cannot reach the president? So it's an access to justice and demanding and profiling some of these stories. Now, another unnamed organization based from the UK had been working around with the families of the victims of protesters who were allegedly shot. And do you know that one aspect that they've been demanding is to get the bullets, especially those who are shot. To get the bullets. So there is a puzzle of the missing bullets. Where do those bullets go? Because it is part of the evidence creation. It is the part of evidence collection to put up pieces together, to get witness statements. There have been those who they're taken, sometimes those who are taken to the hospitals, they don't allow media engagements. Those who are shot, and probably those who had gunshot wounds, just on narration of what happened. That aspect has been frustrated. On another front, families' autopsy on the bodies of those who are affected delayed, some denied, some done in very unclear circumstances, reports doctored and distorted, just to ensure that you cannot trace. And I want to tell you this. This is what happens. Ukishoot mtu leo na mshoot na that bullet is found. Using the bullet, they can be able to trace the gun holder, the manufacturer, which police station it is, when it was brought in the country. They can be able to trace. And that is the puzzle of the missing bullets. From your bullet, utajua ilikuwa kwa bunduki gani. So at that point, we'll know if someone was shot, which kind of gun was used. From just that bullet, you know which gun. From that bullet, you will know government and the security system knows who was the holder of that gun at that point. Let me tell you, even Rex, nani alikuwa anashika hiyo bunduki at that point. And that is why the first thing that they go for is the bullet. And from there, who is that person? Which police station? The investigators will also try to look at. So, months to this protest, the bullets that were used, when were they manufactured? And then when were they brought into the country? With that, you can trail off, did someone anticipate a national crisis? So you can see the frustration that has been going on. In fact, I spoke to one lawyer who was telling me, Kevin, it is not magical science to know who shot who. No. Even the stray bullet yenye iligonga yule mtoto wa Ndumberi, just from that bullet, you can trace the gun holder. Yes, you can trace. Utajua ni nani anahold hii. And these things are serial. That is why it is not very easy to find civilians with some of this. It is not very easy. And the UK-based firm that has now been linked to be the firm that is collecting evidence on behalf of ICC has been finding it rough to try to reach out and explain, probably just to witness some of this. And let me tell you, the OB report in some of this, even how when unapigwa risasi unaona protest iko, you go there, you cannot trace any evidence that so and so was shot. You cannot trace that so and so was shot in a protest for treason. It's because of the ICC fever. I saw the burial in Kirinyaga. The lady was shot in Githurai. These tears are here, but no one really wants to talk about it. A delegation, remember in 2007, the list, the envelope that had William Ruto, Henry Kosgei, Francis Mudhaura, General Ali, Uhuru Kenyatta, and Sang. That list had politicians, Sang, politicians, president, and those who are vying, head of public service. Yes, that list had police boss. So you actually, so ICC uses that to establish the violence ecosystem. And if they can be able to get that ecosystem, that is how they can pin down who does what, or rather who did what. Do you know that even communication channels have been distorted? Completely distorted. And if you are looking for who ordered who, you cannot find that. And that's why you had the guy Gachagua saying the other day that for police, you guys must make sure that you actually get the right orders. And if someone is ordering you, let he or she put that order in some sort of writing. And this is something that is here. And the state players are keen to avert any move that will see ICC coming into play. Maybe to investigate. Remember, you have so many files. You have so many files. I've been saying, if you just look at 2023, all the way to 2025, I think we have the threshold. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take the next minutes of your time to explain why the country at the moment should, and anyone of goodwill for the country, should actually give ICC a chance to give us some sanity. Let me just remind you, in 2010, I think that was 2010, there was a big debate. Remember, by that time, the Justice Minister was Martha Karua. There was a big debate as to the PEV cases. Should they be tried here, or should we take them to ICC? And Prime Minister Raila Odinga by that time led the calls for the country to head to ICC. And I can tell you this. We need to. Because politicians are scheming on how to retain power. And there is no limitations. There are no limitations. Nelson Amenya, if you remember Nelson Amenya, the blogger who raised alarm on their Danny deal, there is a statement he said There is a list. I don't want to say it. I cannot reveal it because it's not a verified list. Of course, it's not been subjected to any verification. But I just want to use that to bring up, the claim on what he said. There is something he said, and I just want to get it here, that there are a clique of politicians that are allegedly stockpiling some weapons for 2027 general election. Yes, he brought up that claim and listed close to 9 names. If you go and check Twitter, that post is in Twitter. I said I cannot put it here because it's not verified. But of course, you can look at this. Can be subject of, there's this Twitter post of Voice of Meru. Yeah, you can check the Voice of Meru. There is allegedly a names of 9 politicians. Yeah, can see majority from, where So this is a factor that there really a feeling that those who want to protect power have no limits. Number 2, we are getting to heightened political season. And we are in an era, in a government that cannot tame the tongues of the leaders. Kuna watu lazima wapewe woga. There are 3 politicians that I think must be tamed. 3. The first one is Mandago. Did you hear the soundbite of Mandago somewhere saying you Kikuyus? Mandago was the former Singishu governor. There is Oscar Sudi. And then there is Opondo Kaluma. The 3. The people who must kuna kawaga lazima kaingie. Because the justice system that is supposed to bring them, supposed to inject some sense in them, is so weak to address. The third reason is the police sector, the security sector. 2 things are here. It's either we have a bipartisan, not a bipartisan, we have a skewed or a partisan security sector aligned to protecting power, or the system is just broken. It's either 2 things. I saw a rally of Masengeli attending a rally with Murkomen. Yes, Masengeli attended a rally with Murkomen somewhere in Eldoret. So because and this ecosystem is only working for one objective, to retain power. Lastly, on the violation of human rights, those in power are tone deaf. They're not moved. And the crisis we have is we have a population that is determined that if something is wrong, it is wrong. We have a population that is willing to go. If you're going to kill us, we go kill all of us. So I think on that, those are 3 grounds why I believe that we really need to do something. Aka kawoga kalazima kaingi. As we get to the next election, someone should know that if I do something stupid, if I do something reckless, ICC are going to come for me. And in fact, we made a mistake, and 20 years later, that mistake might come back to bite us. We made a mistake that after the 2007 PEV, we focused more on reconciliation, which was necessary. But reconciliation without justice is not good for stability of the country. You know, yes, I strongly believe what happened in 2007 was so bad. So bad. You should never go there. But the real people who brought us there, we never need a very good post-mortem. We engaged in a lot of political survival tactics and sloganeering, you know, bring these people together saying, no, Ruto, together, nini. We didn't get it. And the country cheered. So someone will know that, oh, nikishikwa nipeleko ICC nirudi, nitakuwa president. Iko shida mahali. Thank you. And remember, the two presidents that we've had after 2007 are all ICC convicts. Both Uhuru and William Ruto. Tuonane.